Welcome back to Sleepy Lagoon Tales. Tonight's story is a sanctuary from the day, a place to unwind and find peace. Get comfortable, let go, and drift away with us. The Forgotten Room. Emily Harris stood in the dimly lit hallway of her new home, surrounded by cardboard boxes and the faint smell of rain seeping in through the old wooden windows. The house had been in her family for generations, passed down from her late aunt, who had lived there until her final days. Emily had always admired the house's quaint charm and historical significance, but now, as its sole occupant, she felt a mixture of excitement and unease. It was a stormy evening, and the wind howled outside, rattling the window panes and casting erratic shadows across the walls. Emily was unpacking a box of kitchenware when the power flickered and a low, mysterious noise echoed from upstairs. She paused, listening intently. The sound was soft yet persistent, like a whisper carried on the wind. Curiosity piqued. Emily grabbed a flashlight and made her way up the creaky staircase to the attic. The attic door groaned as she pushed it open, revealing a dusty space filled with forgotten memories. Old furniture covered in white sheets, stacks of yellowed newspapers, and antique trunks filled with relics from another era. She shone the flashlight around, searching for the source of the noise. As she moved deeper into the attic, something caught her eye, a previously unnoticed door in the far corner. It was old and ornate, with carvings that seemed to glow faintly in the sporadic flashes of lightning. Emily approached the door cautiously. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and anticipation. She reached out and turned the brass doorknob, which felt surprisingly warm to the touch. The door swung open with a soft creak, revealing a room filled with antique furniture and objects that appeared untouched for decades. Stepping inside, Emily felt an eerie sense of familiarity wash over her. The room was beautifully preserved, as if frozen in time. There was an old wooden desk cluttered with papers and quills, a four-poster bed draped with lace curtains, and shelves lined with leather-bound books. Her eyes were drawn to a dusty journal lying on the desk. She picked it up and carefully opened it, revealing page after page of neat handwriting. It belonged to her aunt. The entries were cryptic and filled with references to the room and its mysterious nature. Emily's curiosity deepened as she read on. The room appears only during thunderstorms, one entry began. It shows glimpses of what is yet to come. She looked around again, feeling a chill run down her spine. Was this room truly capable of revealing the future? And if so, what did it want to show her? As another clap of thunder resonated through the house, Emily knew she had only scratched the surface of this mystery. She decided she would return during the next storm to uncover more about this forgotten room. Days passed, and Emily couldn't stop thinking about the hidden room in the attic. She spent hours reading through her aunt's journal, trying to decipher its cryptic messages. Her aunt had written extensively about the room and her experiences within it, but many of the entries were fragmented or incomplete, One evening, as Emily sat by the window, lost in thought, dark clouds began to gather on the horizon. The air grew heavy with anticipation, and soon fat raindrops began to splatter against the glass. The familiar rumble of thunder echoed through the sky. Emily's heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement. She grabbed her flashlight and hurried up to the attic, eager to see if the door would appear again. As she reached the top of the stairs, a brilliant flash of lightning illuminated the room, revealing the ornate door in all its mysterious glory. She approached it with determined steps, turned the brass doorknob, and entered the forgotten room once more. The air inside was cool and still, untouched by time. Emily made her way to the desk and opened her aunt's journal to where she had left off. The house shook again with another thunderclap, and all of a sudden Emily felt a strange tingling all over her. It looked like the room moved and shimmered around her. She blinked, and when she opened her eyes again, she found herself no longer alone. In front of her stood two versions of herself, each at a different crossroads in life. One Emily was dressed in a sharp business suit, standing confidently behind an office desk cluttered with important documents. The other Emily wore casual clothes and stood in a cozy art studio filled with canvases and paintbrushes. The vision was so vivid that Emily could almost feel the texture of the paint and hear the rustle of papers. She realized these were possible futures, two paths she could take based on choices she hadn't yet made. Confusion and doubt gnawed at her as she tried to make sense of what she was seeing. Her current job was stable but unfulfilling. While pursuing art had always been a dream she never had the courage to chase. The storm outside intensified, lightning casting eerie shadows across the room as thunder roared like some ancient beast. Emily watched as both versions of herself faded away, leaving her alone once more in the silent room. Her mind buzzed with questions. Was this vision a warning or a guide? Could she truly shape her destiny based on what she'd seen? And most importantly, what did she really want for herself? Determined to find answers, Emily vowed to return during every storm until she understood the full extent of this room's power. But for now, she needed to process what she'd witnessed and decide how it would influence her next steps. As she closed the journal and left the attic, Emily felt a strange mixture of hope and unease. The future was uncertain, but perhaps that wasn't such a bad thing after all. Emily couldn't shake the images from her mind, the two possible futures that had unfolded before her eyes. She spent the following days in a state of introspection, weighing the pros and cons of each path. Her stable job provided security, but her heart longed for the freedom and creativity that art could offer. One afternoon, while organizing some old family photos, Emily stumbled upon a picture of her aunt standing in front of the house. In the background was the very attic window that now held so many secrets. Her aunt's serene smile seemed to convey a sense of knowing, as if she had left these clues for Emily to find. Determined to learn more about her family's history with the room, Emily decided to dig deeper into her aunt's life. She visited the local library and combed through archives, uncovering records that painted a vivid picture of her aunt's younger years. There were mentions of a close friend named Henry, who seemed to play a significant role in her aunt's life. As Emily pieced together the fragments of her aunt's past, another storm began to brew on the horizon. The air grew thick with anticipation, and soon rain began to fall in heavy sheets against the windows. Emily's heart quickened. She knew it was time to return to the forgotten room. Clutching her flashlight and her aunt's journal, Emily ascended the creaky stairs once more. The attic door groaned in protest as she pushed it open, revealing the hidden door bathed in flickering shadows. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The room was just as she had left it, timeless and untouched. As she settled at the desk, another clap of thunder resonated through the house, and the air seemed to hum with energy. Emily felt that familiar tingling sensation as the room began to shimmer and shift around her. This time she found herself standing in a small cafe, its cozy interior filled with warm light and the comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Across from her sat Sarah, her estranged sister, their faces etched with tension and unresolved pain. The vision played out like a scene from a movie. Sarah's voice trembled as she spoke of old wounds and misunderstandings that had driven them apart. Emily could feel the raw emotion in every word, the weight of years of silence pressing down on them both. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she watched herself reach out to Sarah, their hands meeting across the table in a gesture of reconciliation. The vision shifted again, showing moments of laughter and healing as they rebuilt their bond. As the vision faded, Emily was left with a profound sense of longing and regret. She hadn't spoken to Sarah in years, too many years lost to pride and stubbornness. The room had shown her what could be if she had the courage to make amends. Determined not to let this opportunity slip away, Emily picked up her phone and dialed Sarah's number. Her heart pounded as it rang, each second stretching into an eternity, until finally Sarah's voice answered on the other end. "Hello." Sarah's voice was cautious, but curious. "Sarah," Emily began, her voice trembling slightly. "It's me." "Emily." There was a pause, then a soft sigh of recognition. "Emily, it's been a long time." "Too long," Emily replied, tears threatening to spill over. "I want to talk, to make things right." Another pause, followed by a tentative agreement from Sarah. They arranged to meet at a small cafe in town, the same one from Emily's vision. As she hung up the phone, Emily felt a mixture of relief and apprehension. Reaching out had been difficult, but it was a step toward healing, a step inspired by the forgotten room. The day of the meeting arrived with a crisp, clear sky, a stark contrast to the stormy nights that had revealed so much to Emily. She felt a knot of anxiety in her stomach as she approached the small cafe, where she and Sarah had agreed to meet. The bell above the door chimed softly as she stepped inside, the familiar aroma of coffee and baked goods enveloping her. Sarah was already there, sitting at a corner table with a cup of tea in front of her. She looked up as Emily approached, a mixture of hope and apprehension in her eyes. Emily took a deep breath and sat down across from her sister, their eyes locking for the first time in years. "Hi," Emily said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Hi," Sarah replied, her tone equally tentative. For a moment neither of them spoke, both struggling to find the right words. Finally, Sarah broke the silence. "I've missed you," she admitted, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I've missed you too," Emily confessed, feeling the weight of all the years they had lost pressing down on her. "I'm so sorry for everything, for letting things get this bad." Sarah nodded, her expression softening. "We both made mistakes," she said gently. "But maybe it's not too late to fix things." They spent hours talking, sharing their lives and feelings with an openness they hadn't felt in years. Laughter mingled with tears as they slowly began to rebuild their bond, piece by piece. It was a start, one inspired by the visions from the forgotten room. That night, as another storm rolled in, Emily felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in a long time. She climbed the stairs to the attic once more, drawn by an inexplicable pull to the hidden room. The ornate door appeared again, glowing faintly in the flickering light. Inside, Emily felt an overwhelming urge to uncover more about her aunt's life and the mysterious figure named Henry. She opened the journal to an entry that mentioned Henry's tragic fate and how it related to choices made within the room. "Henry was like me," her aunt had written. "He saw glimpses of what could be, but was consumed by fear and doubt. He made choices he regretted, choices that led to his undoing." Emily felt a chill as she read those words. She knew she had to learn from Henry's mistakes, to face her fears head-on and make decisions that aligned with her true self. Another thunderclap resonated through the house, and once again Emily felt that tingling sensation as the room shimmered around her. This vision showed her standing at another crossroads, this time with two distinct paths before her. On one path, she saw herself staying at a stable job and living a comfortable but unfulfilled life. On the other path, she saw herself pursuing her love of art, taking risks and finding happiness and meaning in each stroke. The vision was clear. Emily had to make a choice that resonated with who she truly was, not just what was safe or expected. As the vision faded, she felt a renewed sense of determination. Over the next few days, Emily began making deliberate changes in her life. She declined both job offers from her vision and instead focused on launching her own art studio, a dream she had long buried beneath layers of practicality and fear. With each step forward, Emily felt more aligned with her true self, more alive than she had in years. The forgotten room had shown her glimpses of possible futures, but it was up to her to shape her own destiny. One final storm arrived weeks later, lightning illuminating the hidden door one last time. Emily entered the room with gratitude and resolve, knowing this would be her final visit. The room shimmered again, revealing an alternate past where different choices had led to different outcomes, some better, some worse, but all uniquely hers. It was a reminder that while we can't change our past, we can always choose our future. As she closed the journal and prepared to leave for good, Emily felt at peace with herself and her decisions. She boarded up the door, but kept her aunt's journal as a cherished reminder of all she had learned. With newfound clarity and determination, Emily stepped into her new life, a life filled with purpose, love, and endless possibilities. Months passed and Emily's life began to flourish in ways she had never imagined. Her art studio became a sanctuary of creativity and expression, drawing in clients and admirers from all around the town. She poured her heart into each piece, channeling her emotions and experiences into her work. Her relationship with Sarah continued to mend and grow stronger. They met regularly, sharing meals, stories, and laughter. The bond they rebuilt was a testament to their resilience and willingness to forgive. One sunny afternoon, as Emily was setting up for an art class in her studio, she received an unexpected visitor. A man in his late 40s stood at the door, holding a small package wrapped in brown paper. He had kind eyes that seemed to hold a depth of understanding. "Hello," he greeted with a warm smile. "Are you Emily Harris?" "Yes, I am," Emily replied, curious about the stranger. "My name is Henry," he said, extending his hand. "I believe this belongs to you." Emily's heart skipped a beat as she shook his hand. Could this be the same Henry mentioned in her aunt's journal? "Henry?" she asked, her voice trailing off with unspoken questions. He nodded. "Your aunt and I were very close once. She entrusted me with this package before she passed away, asking me to deliver it to you when the time was right." Emily accepted the package with trembling hands and invited Henry inside. They sat down at a small table in the corner of the studio as she carefully unwrapped the brown paper. Inside was a beautifully crafted wooden box with intricate carvings similar to those on the hidden door in the attic. Emily opened the box to find a collection of letters and photographs, along with a delicate silver locket. "I didn't know my aunt had left anything for me," Emily said softly, examining the contents of the box. "She wanted you to have these," Henry explained. "She believed they would help you understand more about your family and yourself." Emily spent the next hour reading through the letters, which detailed her aunt's experiences with the forgotten room and her friendship with Henry. The letters revealed a deep bond between them, forged through shared secrets and mutual understanding. The photographs captured moments of joy and adventure, her aunt and Henry exploring new places, celebrating milestones, and simply enjoying each other's company. They painted a picture of a life filled with love and connection. As Emily read the final letter, tears welled up in her eyes. "Dear Emily," it began, "if you're reading this, it means you've discovered the room and its secrets. I hope it has guided you as it guided me. Henry was my confidant, my anchor through it all. I trust him to help you navigate whatever comes next. Remember that while the room can show us possible futures, it's our choices that define who we are." Live boldly, love deeply, and never be afraid to embrace your true self. With all my love, Aunt Margaret. Emily closed the letter, feeling an overwhelming sense of connection to her aunt and gratitude for the guidance she had provided, even from beyond the grave. "Thank you for bringing this to me," Emily said to Henry, her voice filled with emotion. "It's what Margaret wanted," Henry replied gently. "She saw so much potential in you." They spent hours talking about Margaret, sharing stories and memories that brought both laughter and tears. By the end of their conversation, Emily felt as though she had gained not only a deeper understanding of her aunt, but also a new friend in Henry. As evening approached and they prepared to part ways, Henry handed Emily the silver locket from the box. "Margaret wanted you to have this," he said softly. "It's a symbol of your family's legacy, a reminder that you're never alone." Emily accepted the locket with reverence and gratitude. She knew that although her journey had been filled with uncertainty and challenges, it had also brought profound growth and connection. With renewed strength and clarity, Emily embraced her future with open arms, ready to live boldly, love deeply, and shape her own destiny. Emily's life kept getting better as time went on. People in the community were moved and inspired by her art studio, which was something she had dreamed of for a long time. She used what she had learned from the forgotten room and her memories of her aunt in every piece she made. Her relationship with Sarah grew stronger with every passing day. They often reminisced about their childhood, sharing stories and laughter that brought them closer together. The bond they had rebuilt was a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of the human spirit. One evening, as Emily was tidying up her studio after a particularly successful art show, she received an unexpected visitor. It was Henry, carrying a small canvas wrapped in brown paper. His eyes twinkled with a hint of mystery. "Emily," he greeted warmly, "I have something for you." Emily was curious. She invited Henry inside, and they sat down at one of the tables in her studio. She carefully unwrapped the canvas, revealing a beautiful painting of the forgotten room, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight. "It's stunning," Emily said, her voice filled with awe. Henry smiled. "Your aunt painted this years ago. She wanted you to have it when you were ready." As Emily studied the painting, she felt a deep sense of connection to her aunt and the room that had changed her life. The intricate details captured every nuance of the hidden sanctuary, the ornate carvings on the door, the antique furniture, and the shelves lined with books. "Thank you, Henry," Emily said softly, her eyes misting with emotion. "This means so much to me." "It's what Margaret wanted," Henry replied gently. "She believed in your potential and knew that you would find your own path." Emily hung the painting in a place of honor in her studio, where it served as a constant reminder of her journey and the choices that had led her to this point. Months turned into years, and Emily's life continued to evolve in beautiful ways. Her art gained recognition beyond her small town, attracting admirers and patrons from far and wide. She held exhibitions in galleries across the country, each one a testament to her growth as an artist and as a person. Through it all, Emily never forgot the lessons she had learned from the forgotten room. She remained true to herself, embracing every opportunity with courage and an open heart. One day, as she prepared for yet another exhibition, Emily received a letter from Henry. He wrote about his own journey, how Margaret's guidance had helped him navigate life's challenges and find his own sense of purpose. "Emily," he wrote, "Margaret always believed in you, and I see now why she did. Your art has touched so many lives, including mine. Thank you for being a beacon of light and inspiration. With gratitude, Henry." Emily felt a warm glow of appreciation as she read Henry's words. She knew that her aunt's legacy lived on through her work and through every life she touched. As she looked around her studio, filled with vibrant colors and expressions of creativity, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. The forgotten room had shown her glimpses of possible futures, but it was her choices that had shaped her destiny. Emily greeted each new day with joy and purpose, ready to keep living bravely, loving deeply, and inspiring others along the way. Her heart was full of gratitude and determination. And so, the story of Emily Harris came full circle, a story of self-discovery, forgiveness, and the enduring power of choice. Years passed, and Emily's life had blossomed into a tapestry of rich experiences and meaningful connections. Her art studio had become a cornerstone of the community, fostering creativity and bringing people together in ways she had never imagined. Emily had also taken up teaching, guiding young artists to find their own voices and encouraging them to embrace their unique talents. One particularly memorable evening, the town hosted an art festival, celebrating local talent and creativity. Emily's work was featured prominently, and she felt a swell of pride as she walked through the bustling streets filled with laughter, music, and the vibrant energy of the community. As she mingled with friends and admirers, she spotted Sarah standing near one of her paintings, a look of admiration on her face. Emily approached her sister with a smile. "Enjoying the festival?" Emily asked, her eyes twinkling with happiness. Sarah nodded, her smile mirroring Emily's. "It's wonderful. Your work has truly brought this town together." They stood side by side, watching as people gathered around to admire the artwork. It was a moment of reflection for both sisters, a testament to how far they had come and how much they had grown. Later that night, as the festival wound down and the stars began to twinkle in the clear night sky, Emily found herself back at her studio. She sat at her desk, looking at the painting of the forgotten room that now held a place of honor on the wall. A soft knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. She turned to see Henry standing there, holding a small wrapped gift. "May I come in?" he asked with a gentle smile. "Of course," Emily replied warmly. Henry handed her the gift and she unwrapped it to reveal a beautifully crafted journal with a leather cover embossed with intricate designs. Inside were blank pages waiting to be filled with new stories and experiences. "I thought you might like to start your own journal," Henry said softly. "A place to capture your journey and all the wonderful moments yet to come." Emily's heart swelled with gratitude as she accepted the journal. "Thank you, Henry. This means so much to me." They sat together for a while, reminiscing about Margaret and sharing stories of their own adventures. The connection they shared was a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the impact one person could have on many lives. As midnight approached and Henry prepared to leave, he turned to Emily with a thoughtful expression. "Margaret would be so proud of you," he said quietly. "You've honored her legacy in ways she could only have dreamed." Emily felt tears welling up but smiled through them. "I hope so," she replied, softly, "and I couldn't have done it without you." After Henry left, Emily sat down at her desk with the new journal before her. She opened it to the first page and paused for a moment, reflecting on all that had brought her to this point. Her aunt's guidance, the forgotten room's revelations, and her own choices that had shaped her destiny. With steady hands, she began to write. "Dear Journal, this is the beginning of a new chapter. My journey has been filled with unexpected twists and turns, but each step has brought me closer to understanding who I am. I've learned that while we cannot change our past, we have the power to shape our future through our choices. And most importantly, I've discovered that love, whether from family or friends, can guide us through even the darkest storms. With gratitude and hope, Emily Harris." As she finished writing, Emily closed the journal with a sense of fulfillment. She knew that no matter what lay ahead, she was ready to face it with courage and an open heart. The forgotten room had been more than just a mysterious space. It had been a catalyst for transformation and growth. And now, as she embraced each new day with joy and purpose, Emily carried its lessons within her, a reminder that while our paths may be uncertain, it is our choices that define us. And so, under the gentle glow of moonlight streaming through her studio window, Emily Harris looked forward to all the possibilities yet to come, ready to live boldly, love deeply, and continue inspiring others along the way. As the years rolled on, Emily's life unfolded like a beautifully crafted painting, each stroke adding depth and richness to her journey. Her art continued to touch lives, and her studio became a haven for those seeking inspiration and solace. The community she had fostered thrived, filled with creativity, support, and a shared love for the arts. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, Emily received a letter that would once again change her life. It was from a prestigious gallery in New York City, inviting her to showcase her work in a solo exhibition. The opportunity was beyond anything she had ever dreamed of. Excitement and nerves mingled as she prepared for the exhibition, pouring her heart into each piece she selected. The night of the event arrived, and Emily found herself standing in the grand gallery, surrounded by her creations and an audience eager to experience her art. As guests admired her work and offered words of praise, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. She had come so far from the days of uncertainty and doubt, guided by the lessons of the forgotten room and her own unwavering determination. Midway through the evening, as she mingled with patrons and fellow artists, Emily noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Henry, his eyes filled with pride and warmth. "Henry!" she exclaimed, embracing him warmly. "I didn't know you were coming." "I wouldn't miss this for the world," he replied, with a smile. "Margaret would be so proud." They spent the evening together, celebrating Emily's success and reminiscing about their shared journey. As the night drew to a close and the gallery began to empty, Henry handed Emily another small wrapped gift. "What's this?" she asked, curiosity piqued. "Open it," Henry encouraged with a twinkle in his eye. Emily carefully unwrapped the gift to reveal a delicate silver key on a chain. The key was intricately designed, similar to the carvings on the door of the forgotten room. "It's beautiful," Emily said softly, touched by the thoughtful gesture. "But what does it unlock?" Henry's smile held a hint of mystery. "It's a reminder," he said gently, "a symbol of all the doors you've opened in your life, both literally and metaphorically." Emily slipped the key onto its chain around her neck, feeling its comforting weight against her skin. It was a fitting symbol of her journey, a journey marked by courage, choice, and transformation. As they left the gallery together, walking through the bustling streets of New York City under a canopy of stars, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for all that had brought her to this moment. Back at her studio in her quaint hometown, life continued with its familiar rhythms and joys. Emily embraced each day with renewed purpose, always mindful of the lessons she had learned from the forgotten room. One evening, as she sat by her window, watching another storm roll in, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. The storms no longer filled her with apprehension, but rather reminded her of how far she had come. She opened her journal, the one Henry had given her years ago, and began to write. "Dear Journal, tonight, as I listen to the rain and thunder outside my window, I am reminded of all that has shaped my journey. The forgotten room showed me glimpses of possible futures, but taught me that it is our choices that truly define us. I have lived boldly, loved deeply, and embraced every opportunity with an open heart. And now, as I look forward to what lies ahead, I do so with gratitude and hope. With endless possibilities before me, Emily Harris." As she closed the journal, Emily felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that whatever storms or sunny days lay ahead, she was ready to face them with courage and grace. The forgotten room had been more than just a mysterious space. It had been a catalyst for transformation and growth. And now, as she embraced each new day with joy and purpose, Emily carried its lessons within her, a reminder that while our paths may be uncertain, it is our choices that define us. And so, under the gentle glow of moonlight streaming through her studio window, Emily Harris looked forward to all the possibilities yet to come, ready to live boldly, love deeply, and continue inspiring others along the way.